Yeah. Now we are continuing the essential elements. First thing is the next thing. Offer must be communicated. Whatever it may be, the offer. If you think that when you want to make a proposal, you should not think that people will come to know about that. You have to communicate the offer, what you want to tell, what you want to propose. That is, whatever it may be, the offer and whatever it may be, the proposal that you want to make, you have to communicate to others. If you keep that in your mind, and if you think that people they know that, then it won't become an offer. An offer must be communicated to the person to whom it is made. Okay. So, what is the case in this? Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt. This is another case that we come across. Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt. Okay, what is the case and what is the judgment that we come across? Yes, sent his servant Yel to trace his missing son. Yes, in the meantime, announced a reward for providing information about the missing boy. Yell, in ignorance of the announcement, okay, traced the boy and informed to yes. Yell later on came to know of the award and he claimed it. Okay, later on came to know of the award and he claimed it. Okay, his claim was dismissed on the ground that he was ignorant of the offer. It was further held that it was the duty of the servant to search for the boy. Okay, now I suppose that you understood. Yes, sent his servant Yell to trace his missing son. And after some time, yes, announced a reward for providing the information about his son. Yell in ignorance, that is, he don't know that. He don't know about how the announcement made by yes. Yell in ignorance of the announcement traced the boy and informed to yes. Okay, to his master. Yell later on came to know of the reward and he claimed it. Okay, he asked about the reward. Subsequently, when he came to know, he claimed it. His claim was dismissed on the ground that he was ignorant of the offer. Okay, he didn't know about the offer. It was further held that it was the duty of the servant to search for the boy. Yell is a servant to yes, and moreover, okay, it is the duty of the servant to trace out his master's son. He was not, the judgment is, he was not entitled to reward as the announcement was given after L going in search of the boy. Okay, at the time of giving the announcement on offer, L he had gone to trace the boy. So he is not at all subjected to claim for the reward. This is about the case of Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt. Next, offer must be made with a view to obtaining the assent of the other party. When you are making an offer means you have to take you have to think that the other party he must give his assent, that the other party will accept that. With that idea only you have to make an offer. That is, offer must be made with a view to obtaining the assent of the other party. That is the thing. An offer must be distinguished from mere expression of intention. That is main thing. Okay, we'll come across so many expressions, but the giving of expressions or showing of expressions does not mean that there is an offer. It won't give. Okay, next one. Offer should not contain a term that non-compliance of which would amount to acceptance. Offer should not contain a term, the non compliance of which would amount to acceptance. This is about the thing. Now, I'm giving an example before telling that. A writes to B that he will sell his car for 5,000. If B does not reply, A shall assume that he has accepted the offer. Okay, see the peculiarity. A writes to B that he will sell his car for 5,000 rupees. To whom? To B. If B does not reply, A shall assume that he has accepted the offer. Okay, that is, you should tell that non compliance. That's what he is telling. Offer should not contain a term, the non compliance of which would amount to acceptance. It should not be. B did not give his reply. On what grounds B didn't give his reply, we should not take into account that. We have to take into account. And how he can think that he is ready to take the car? It is a mistake of A only. It is not the mistake of B. So that's why offer should not contain a term, the non compliance of which would amount to acceptance. A should not think like that. Next, a statement of price is not an offer. A statement of price is not an offer. In this context, I will tell you an example, beautiful example. When you go for a hotel, when you go for a hotel, you'll come across the list price or menu list. Okay, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean that it is an offer. Okay, keeping a statement of price list is not an offer, please. It won't become an offer. That's what a statement of price is not an offer. Okay, whatever you want, if you just tell that the steward is going to bring that, and then only you'll come across this offer as well as acceptance. Mere looking after the statement of price list or menu list, it doesn't mean that there is an offer. So people, they must be aware of all these essential elements of offer. Now, tender. This thing you will come across in cost accounting also, and here also you will come across tender. Tender means a response to an invitation to offer. A response to an invitation to offer. It is nothing but tender. And that tender is entirely different, and this tender is entirely different. Tender, a response to an invitation to offer, is an offer. I mean, offer. An offer, it may be either for supply of goods and services or standing offer. So this is nothing but a tender. Tender, a response to an invitation to offer. Okay, it may be either for supply of goods and services or standing offer. When tenders are invited for the supply of goods and service, each tender submitted is an offer. The party inviting tenders may accept any tender he chooses. You see, when you want to get the goods or when you want to get the services, you will collect tenders from so many people. And this tenders is nothing but a response to the invitation to offer, but it won't become an offer. When it will become an offer? When the tenders are opened. When the tenders are opened, then only it will be treated as an offer. And opening of the tender and giving the response. Okay, the party inviting tenders may accept any tender he chooses. Okay, while opening the tenders only, it will become an offer. But when it will become the acceptance, when he chooses a tender, then only it will become an acceptance. Until then, it won't become an acceptance. Mind it. Okay, this is nothing but tender, and they will ask you, explain about tender. Tender is nothing but a reply, a response to the invitation to offer. Now, when goods and services are required for certain period, a trader may invite tenders as standing offer, which is a continuous offer. This is also this thing. Okay. When goods and services are required for a certain period, a trader may invite tenders as standing offer, which is a continuous offer. It won't stop for a certain period of time, it will continue like that. So the trader, he will invite so many tenders. Okay. But don't be of that opinion that getting tenders is nothing but an offer. You cannot treat that. When they open the tender, then only you have to consider that as an offer. And the trader or the businessman has the right to choose that tender. Then only it will become an acceptance. Until then, it won't become an acceptance, and you should not consider that. Okay, now this process is a continuous offer. Okay, it is nothing but a continuous offer. If one tender is not good, he will take another tender. So like that, whatever it may be, the number of tenders that he come across, he can. So it is nothing but a continuous offer place. Don't be of that opinion that by opening and selecting, choosing, it is not okay. It is nothing but a continuous offer. If one first tender is not good, he can keep aside and he will take another thing. Okay, so this is nothing but a continuous offer that you come across. Acceptance of the standing offer as an effect and as and when goods are required. It is nothing but a standing offer, acceptance of a standing offer as has an effect as on when goods are required. Okay, suppose if the goods are not required, he will keep that as standing offer. In this case, I'm going to tell you. You see, when you are giving applications to for jobs, okay, all the applications they'll take, the employer he will take all the applications and he will file that. And whenever there is any requirement, then only he'll take that and he will just call that. Up to that extent, it is nothing but a standing offer. So this is the example that you come across when we go for tenders. Cross offer. When two parties make identical offers to each other in ignorance of each other's offer, they are cross offers and they can be no concluded and there can be no concluded contract. When two parties make identical offers, same offers to each other in ignorance of each other's offer. Suppose take for example A and B. A will make an offer and B will make an offer. They are identical. And they don't know that B don't know that A is making and A don't know that B is making. So whenever you come across like this, we'll call that offers as cross offers. Okay, cross offers. Here this cross offers also you have to take into account because it is also a best example. Okay, it is also very very important when you go for this short answers. Cross offer and substituted offer in the place of substituted in the place of the first one we have to take into account the second one. Cross offer. When two parties make identical offers to each other in ignorance of each other's offer, they are cross offers and there can be no concluded contract. It will go on. It will be continued. Like this, we'll have the essential elements of offer. And after this, we'll go for the next element. And whatever it may be the doubts that you come across in company law or in business law, please keep them in comments, thereby I can able to understand and thereby I can able to go further. Okay. And you may ask me, sir, why you are taking? Because I have to take online classes. I'm taking online classes, so thereby the time adjustment I cannot able to spare because I have some work to go outside. So This thing, it will be continued forever. And I'm going to stop here the business law, and I'm going back to accounts in the next video class regarding the problem that we come across when we go for depreciation fund or sinking fund method. And after that, we'll go on to costing and other things. Okay. Until then, good, good day.